Thanks for being here, guys. The game against Abilene Christian, we'll talk about that first. I thought our guys really came out focused, played well, especially early on offense. To be able to score 35 points in the first half on anybody is just really on the road. It was a great job. Uh, we moved the football. We were efficient. There was the wind was a factor. We had to make some adjustments from that standpoint in the kicking game. Also throwing the football, but I thought our guys adjusted well. We handled the trip well. Defensively, I really thought we played well. I thought our guys played with a lot of energy. They ran a two quarterback system, so we had to carry in two different game plans, and I think they learned it. Did a super job preparation during the week. So for us to be able to do what we did defensively with the sacks, 10 sacks, 6 interceptions. I'm not sure the tackle for losses, but for our guys to be running around, I thought they did a heck of a job. Once again, a lot of new faces that were out there playing. We played 12 freshmen in the game, and we played the last 7 games. We played between 10 and 15 freshmen every game. So our depth is really starting to shine through, and it's good. Our guys are developing, they're growing, they're getting better, and we're able to use those guys, and they're effective for us, and we're winning with them. So for us to be able to do that on the road and take care of that, I thought was, again, I just really pleased with that. We handled the trip well. It was a plane trip, and we handled that. Some of the guys never flew before; they did a good job on that, and so it was a really productive weekend for us. Turning around now, we got a short week. Got Nichols on Thursday here. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to see Strawberry Stadium packed. I think the atmosphere is going to be electric. I really do. I think the student body, I know the town of Hammond, everybody's going to be here. Thibodeau's going to bring a great crowd with them. They're going to bring, they support their team well and travel well. So they'll pack a portion of the stadium. We'll have our people there. The Lion Walk, the atmosphere. I just think it's going to be a great opportunity for people to see quality college football and come out here and spend the day, spend the evening, and enjoy everything that we got here on campus. Obviously, it's going to be two good football teams, and I really believe that it's going to be a slugfest. I think it's going to be a physical football game between two teams that know what's at stake, but more than that, they love playing the game. I think Coach Rebo has done a fantastic job down there building that program or getting into a position where they're in the talk for the conference championship every year and going to the playoffs every year. It's just not a one-hit wonder. And no matter if the parts change, they're still going to be involved in the discussion. So they were picked to win this thing at the beginning of the year. Here they are again. They got a chance to win it. They got the Offensive Player of the Year in Chase Forkate. They got Defensive Player of the Year possibly in Sully Lash. Coach of the Year in Tim Rebo. Team of the Year at Nicholls State. So I guess they got everything going for them. We'll go out there and do our best and do what we do. I know that we're going to play for 60 minutes. That part I can tell you. And our guys are going to play well. We practiced yesterday. We'll practice again today, have a small one tomorrow and Wednesday, and then get ready to play on Thursday. But I think the atmosphere, there's not much motivation involved this week. Everybody knows what's at stake and what we're trying to do and what we need to accomplish what we need to do to get it accomplished. So with that, I'll take the questions, man.
Go in, you're missing some guys in the secondary. You talked about playing those freshmen, but to come away with 6 interceptions and moving as many parts as you guys were, that's I don't want to say unheard of, but you got to be really pleased with that.
Yeah, we've been Rob. All those guys have been playing though. So it's Dontrell Smith's been playing all year. And Donnell Ward McGee missed a few weeks, but he's been playing. And Chantress Spates, Xavier Lewis, and Trey Spann. So all those guys have been playing. We just, Dejan Lance and Philando didn't travel and play, but those other guys did, but they've been working all year long. We've been putting them in the games. Sometimes you don't notice everything when they're not making a lot of plays or they just in for a series or two and then get back out. But those guys have been growing and developing as the season's gone on, as with all of our freshmen, all of our young guys, and that's what recruiting. When you recruit and identify players, then you get them here. You got to develop them, and I think our staff has really done a good job of that. Not only the identification and the recruitment of those guys, but you got to develop them, and that's what allows sometimes players we have a tendency to want to put it on the player when he doesn't perform well, but a lot of times it's the development portion that we miss out on, and I think our staff's doing a heck of a job with that.
You gonna get those two guys back this week?
Yeah, that's what we hope. Hopefully both of them will be back, and whether they start or not, we don't know, but at least they'll provide depth for us.
You said for a number of weeks that you needed to do better forcing turnovers, and really coming off the bye a couple weeks ago, you guys have been getting better at it each and every week. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, we always talk about they come in bunches, man, and they do. You'd like to get more fumbles. You like to get some punch outs and stuff, some strips, some hits, things like that. But when they're throwing them to you, you got to catch them. So it's kind of like Philando early. He's pick sixes and pick six and pick six. You got to put yourself in that situation, and so you have to have the knowledge to be in the right spot. But then you have to make the play when you have a chance to make the play. We dropped a lot of balls early in the year. We were there. We just didn't make the play. Now we're making those plays. Xavier Lewis's catch was, that's as good an interception as you could possibly have. Donnell in the end zone, he was over the top of a deep ball, and he just waited on the ball to come down, but he was in position to make that play. Chantrez Spates, he saw he read the quarterback, he saw the route, jumped the route, and made the play. So these guys are putting themselves in position to make the play, but you got to actually make the play, and that's what we did this past week, and that's what's. I think there's a lot more confidence going on. A lot more confidence that these guys are showing right now.
How much better is Chase Forcade this year? This is a guy you got.
Look at what he's done. He's a 4-year starter. He's loaded with experience. He's leading his team again. Conference champions, defending conference champions. He's leading them again to another great season. His numbers are fantastic. He's running, throwing, directing stuff. He's a true leader in every sense of the word. He's what you want at the quarterback position. He's the guy that comes in and takes control of the football team and does the things he needs to do for the team to win. So he is progressively, in my mind, from last year to this year, gotten a lot better, taking care of the football, making good decisions. You can see the team play like him. He's fiery, aggressive, runs around, a lot of energy, things like that. So I'm sure he's what Coach Rebo wants back there.
Outside of the game, what happens if you win? Do you talk about the rivalry history with the players with all this?
You do, Robbie, but you really don't have to talk about a lot of stuff. This game, there's so much at stake here in this game with the River Bell trophy and that whole history. And then last game of the year, we're close to each other. They're going to come in the day of. Our guys know their guys now. What's at stake from a conference championship and playoff standpoint. All of those things, but at the end of it, it's not going to affect our preparation or anything like that. We didn't change anything. We didn't put up signs, and we don't do all that stuff. You go to work every day. You get prepared to do your job on game day, and that's what we're doing. So there's nothing special that's taking place or anything like that. We went through the exact same routine that we do every week, and we'll continue to do that the rest of this week as we prepare for Thursday. We just got to condense it because of the short week, but other than that, we're going to do exactly what we do and then get ready to play on Thursday.
Coach, what are you seeing out of Nichols' offense?
I'm sorry?
What are you seeing out of Nichols under offense?
They're a physical football team that runs the football. So they run the ball. They're going to come downhill. I think their running back he leads the conference in touchdowns, yardage, a couple of different things. But he's a very physical runner. He's a big kid. The offensive line comes off the ball. They do a great job on play action, and I think Chase does a good job taking care of the football. They have 2 explosive receivers on the outside, 21 and 5. I think that's the numbers, 21 and 5. One's really long. Had a huge game this past week against McNeese. So they've got their weapons in their 2 skill positions. The running back and the quarterback are definitely there. Their offensive line comes off football. So they'll be a physical football team. We'll have to match the physicality during the course of the game. It's not going to be we could bet football on, just spreading it out and chunking it around. They're not going to do that. They're going to come back. We're not going to have to go look for them. They're going to be right there in front of us. That's how they play. That's their personality. That's why they are where they are right now. And that travels well. It plays well as you get into the playoffs, I think. So no matter what the weather is or anything like that, that's how they're going to play.
Frank, last week you talked about Devontae Williams getting healthy. Did that coincide with this 4-game streak for y'all?
It did. Yeah, he missed the Northwestern game. Mm-hmm. And then the week after that was UIW, and he played very little in that game. And he started feeling better in the McNeese game, and then we had the open date, and it kind of got kind of got his wind. That open date really helped him. That was a good time for him. And I think what you're seeing now is what you saw early in Jacksonville State and Ole Miss and Lamar. You saw a guy in the open field making people miss, where he kind of lost that ability for a little bit as he figured this whole thing out. So as he got healthy and figured it out, how to play with it, then now you're starting to see him catch the ball in the open field. We had him back there returning punts this week. He hadn't done that since the injury. So now he's back there returning punts. So he's back to full speed, ready to go.
Is he, I mean, did you realize how good a receiver he was?
Yeah, oh yeah. I said at the beginning of the year, he'll be one of our top receivers. He's a guy that we got to get the ball to in the open field. We got to, certain guys got to get touches, and he's one of them. And you can't just hand it to him 25 times a game or 20 times a game. We want to hand it to him 10, 12 times a game and get banged around, but we want to make sure he gets about 15 to 20 touches, and that means throwing it to him in the open field or isolation routes, things like that.
Is it just his hands, or does he have instincts?
Oh, he's got great instincts. No, he's a smart football player. That's the thing. He's very situationally aware of what's going on. So he's a 3-down back, which means he can run with the football. We can keep him in short yardage because he's a good blocker, and he does a great job in protection. So from a protection standpoint, you don't have to take him out because he either can't handle it physically or he doesn't understand what's going on. He can do both of those. And then as a route runner, he's also, he's definitely a threat. So he's a 3rd-down guy for us and a 3-down back for us. So his value, when we lost him those weeks right there in the middle, it hurt us some offensively. And with him back, I think you're starting to see us play a little bit better offensively. As long as teams are backing off, we can get him the ball out in space. He's been productive.
Coach, how do you look at game plan for Sully Latch this weekend?
Yeah, he's just, we were talking about it earlier. He's just a dynamic player. I think he's probably the best defensive lineman in our conference, maybe one of the best ones in FCS. He's explosive. He's powerful. He's a change of direction, being able to slip guys. He's a threat into the backfield. So we always got to know where he is, whether we have to turn the protection to him or run away from him or maybe just run right at him where we can get some combination blocks on him. But he's a guy that he has disrupted. It doesn't matter. You can put on whatever game you want. He's going to disrupt those guys. I think he's a special player. He's from Letcher. He's a guy right here in our own backyard. And, I don't want the next Sully Lash to go to Nichols. I want him to come here at Southeastern. You can bet on that. So just watching him play is really – you really want your guys to play like you. You want to see your team. You want 11 guys like that run and play with the passion that he does.
From a scheme standpoint, what do you see out of Nichols' defense?
They're an even front. I say an even front. They're going to play with 4 down, but they're going to give you odd spacing, quarters in the back end. They'll play more man on 3rd down than they do anything else from a tendency standpoint. I think they're extremely sound. They don't disguise a lot. They know who they are, and they're very good at what they do. So they go out and play it. They've got a couple of things that they tweak and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's the front 4. They're coming. Their 2 linebackers are extremely active, and they run well. Their team speed overall defensively is really good. And their front 4 runs well, but I think their secondary adds into the run game. Their fits are really good. So they're sound. It kind of goes back to when you really know who you are and you feel comfortable with who you are after you've been in a certain place for a while and developed those players. You don't have to do a lot of stuff because those guys be really good at doing it. And that's where you see them in, year 5, I guess, of Coach Rebo's tenure there,
You talked a little bit about, the 2 different sets that Abilene was bringing for you guys.
Yeah.
Especially, I'll go back to especially in the first half. What did you feel like was the key for you guys in adjusting to both of the things that they were doing offensively?
I thought we got after the quarterback. I thought the one that was the thrower, 3, I thought we got after him pretty good. And he threw us a couple of balls, and he was way off on a couple of balls. So they kind of felt like they needed to go to a more of a running deal. And that's when they brought the Wildcat guy in 4. And then we got after him pretty good, and they tried to throw the football some more. And that's not what he did, and they kept throwing them to us. So I think we did a good job in a coverage standpoint, but I thought we did a great job going after him and forcing him. Even, with 10 sacks, obviously it speaks volumes, but even without the sacks, we put a lot of pressure on him and got him to move. When you can get him off his spot where he wasn't comfortable to throw, a lot of times that's because of the coverage. It just wasn't there. So he had to get out of there. We were putting pressure on him. And then them having to go almost strictly with the Wildcat in the second half, they struggled with that. So with him throwing because we loaded the box then. Yeah.
You've had different moments during the season, and it seems like every time you get to a bigger moment, it's like, okay, here we adjust to it. This is, I guess, as big as you can get at this point in the season. How do you feel like the guys are approaching it, and how are we going to dealing with that with them?
The same. It's the same. You can't get out of whack. This game's no bigger than the last one, and it's not going to be any bigger than the next one if we have another one. Because if you got to do what you're supposed to do in this game to take advantage of your opportunity to play in this game, and if you do that, there'll be a next one. If you don't, there won't. And then when this one's over with, you move to the next one. Just like last week, if we don't do what we needed to do against Abilene Christian, this game's big because it's the one we're playing. But the outside stuff, the external things, that's where that part there kind of gets guys out of whack. It's conference championship and got all the things on there, but it really you're on the field again. Nobody's thinking about a trophy when you're playing. They better not be. Better just be thinking about what coverage we're supposed to be running, the play we're supposed to be running, who I'm supposed to block, where my read are, and all that stuff. So that's what we better be thinking about. And then when you look up at the end of the game, you take a look at the scoreboard, and then we'll decide if we're supposed to get the trophy or not. So we're not approaching it any different, Rob. We're not. Like I said, the motivation speaks for itself, and the opportunity to play. You got to remember this: if you really want motivation, we got 23 seniors, and this could possibly be their last football game that they ever play in college. So if you want motivation, that's it. It's not going to be a trophy or a ring or something like that. It's the last time you ever play football, and you want to make sure that you go out the right way. So.
You guys have really developed a nice rhythm over the past couple of weeks. What challenges does being on a short week here present for you?
Nothing different. I kind of went back to, I did go back when we played on Sunday. When I was in Jacksonville, we played on Sunday and turned around and played on Thursday. So I went back and reviewed game plans and stuff like that. When now we know the game's going to be played every Thursday. So during the summer is when all the legwork was done for this game for this week, and we knew what the schedule was going to be. So we didn't wake up Sunday morning and said, "Okay, what are we doing this week?" All that was done during the summertime. So we knew walking in, here's what we got to do, and here's where we're going to get going, and from everything from a treatment to weightlifting to workouts and things like that, conditioning, all those things are already in place. So we gave the players the schedule on Sunday, yesterday, when we met with them, and we'll go right through with that schedule for the week, and we'll be ready to go on Thursday. Nichols has the same thing. They're going to go through the same process, and he's been through it already a few years because we've been playing on Thursday night. Last year was the first time we did it, and we had an open date prior to this week. So this is the first time we've done it where we play Saturday and turn around and play on Thursday, at least for me. And so that we kind of use that model to see what we wanted to use during the course of this week. Yeah.
So good.
Thank y'all, man. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Just another